to go from being virtually homeless to now building my own home it's a phenomenal kind of journey. It's one that you wouldn't really almost believe it to be viable, but yeah, here we are. The guys have been phenomenal on site. We've obviously done a lot of training in and around bits and pieces. So I went and did my site supervisor's course the other day, which is another step up. So it's a step up from general labouring. I've been working a lot with the bricklaying team, and to the point where there's the potential for employment at the end of it, which is phenomenal, because not only does one then get a property, one also potentially gets employed. Which, if you spoke to me a year and a half ago when I first met up with Carl, that was only a wild dream. It was something that I wouldn't even have dreamed possible. So yeah, things are moving on really well. Right behind you is the excavation for the third set of flats, so there's 3 blocks. That's going to be the block I'm living in, all being well, which will be great. Well, we pretty much stood in my garden as we speak. So yeah, the garden will come to kind of around about here, which will be phenomenal. So actually, you come back in whatever 8 months, a year's time, do it from here, and it'll be my garden. Obviously, the dark places are still there. However, I would hint that actually I've been fortunate enough not to be returning to them places as much. One still kind of dips in every now and again, but that's the nature of the beast, really. Having things like this does help, because it's physical, and it just, for me anyway, physicality, working, grafting, and actually having a sense of achievement, they all psychologically beneficial. And it's an area of the thing that wasn't really touched on, or wasn't really hinted at. This is a therapy, because it's not a therapy, it's a chance to build your own house and gain employment. But actually it's becoming quite therapeutic in that respect, because you've got the banter, you've got the camaraderie, you've got the friendship, you've got the reason to be out and about, and touch wood, we've been blessed with fairly decent weather, so there's not been too many days when we've been here and it's been absolutely hoiling, and yeah, it's that, as I just hinted to, we're stood in my garden, potentially. It is that carrot, and it's a real carrot, as opposed to, when one was in them dark places, there was no light at the end of the tunnel, there was no kind of tangible, I can put my hand on this and see it and physically kind of actually, and have a role to play within its construction. So, and I think that's what, for me personally, this build is giving me in one respect, is actually, yeah, all these things are happening. Other people are working behind the scenes to help out, and I still get support, and the support is genuine, and that, so that helps. All them things, all them little tick boxes greatly help that big box from staying kind of nice and brightly coloured rather than dark.